Right, I'm doing this video to speak to the whole of the CWU membership about a long-running dispute we've been having in the Isle of Man Post Office. The Isle of Man is a country in its own right and it's got its own postal organisation. It's not part of the Royal Mail Group, it is its own postal administration. And we've been in dispute with that employer for some time because they have done a clean sweep of the board, the new chief executive, finance director, and then in response to the challenges we face as a postal organisation, much the same of all the challenges postal organisations are facing, the decline in letters, the growth in parcels, etc., they have taken that opportunity to go away and work up a plan without involving us, the trade union, or any other opinion formers. And they've come back with a plan that effectively is reminiscent of the 4 Pillars campaign that we had. It's a race to the bottom. It's to reduce the terms and conditions of postal workers, to pull up the ladder on the next generation, bring in a 2-tier workforce, close the pension scheme, put new people into an inadequate DC scheme. You know, all the conventional wisdom that we have battled again and trade unions are fighting against. And it's now the turn of our members in the Isle of Man Post Office. Their belief, the Isle of Man management, is that our members wouldn't stand up and fight, they wouldn't show solidarity, or they didn't have the heart for the fight. Well, they've been totally proven wrong today because we have received our ballot result today. And I can tell you that it's a 91% return and a 93% yes vote to take industrial action in defence of our members' employment, standard of living and retirement security, the next generation of postal workers and a wonderful public service enjoyed by the people of the Isle of Man. Now, some of the people in the Isle of Man may not be happy that we're taking industrial action because we have served notice that we will take industrial action on the 13th and the 14th of December. What we've also done is offered 3 days before that of intensive talks with the business if they choose to negotiate properly and we try to avoid the need for that dispute. But if we meet with the same lack of movement that we've received so far from this board, no parameters, it's a take it or leave it option they're putting on the table. If they refuse to move or refuse those talks, then we will be taking industrial action on the 13th and the 14th of December. Now, as I say, the good people of the Isle of Man won't be happy about that, but the truth is, and they'll be worried about their parcels and their letters not being delivered, but the truth is that's been happening for months. Failed deliveries, and many people may recognise this in the UK as well. Deliveries not going out, a failure by management to manage that situation and make sure we got the right resource in place, totally giving our membership, who've got a great vocational sense of spirit, the impression that management are not bothered about it. They're not bothered about a great public postal service. They're looking at this as some sort of commercial operation, that the only way to make it work is not to innovate, is not to bring in new products and services, is not to build on the universal service obligation, which is the same as ours, and which they want to reduce from 6 to 5 days, but rather reduce the headcount and reduce the terms and conditions that postal workers receive. It is a totally inadequate response to the future. It is off the shelf, conventional wisdom for those people who continually want to attack ordinary, decent working people. This union campaigns not just in the Isle of Man, not just in the UK, but everywhere, in every workplace, in every business that we represent. We stand up against that sort of attitude and that sort of employer. We've got nothing to prove to anybody in the way that we are capable of innovating and negotiating. Look at the 4 Pillars agreement. Look at what we're doing with pensions, making history in the UK. No one can level at us that we're a trade union that buries our head in the sand and doesn't address the real issues. But what's coming at us in the Isle of Man is a total disproportionate response to the challenges we face, and it's just being used to turn the Isle of Man Post Office into a cash cow to make it more profitable, to give money back into the government's coffers, something we have done for many years. And enough is enough. The service for months has been poor, and our members aren't just fighting for themselves, they're fighting for that great public service and for the people of the Isle of Man. So people may not like the fact that we're taking industrial action. But if we don't raise the profile of this, and if our members don't stand up for themselves, then nobody else will. So I hope the people of the Isle of Man will see the wisdom of us fighting, not just for pay or pensions. We're fighting for decent jobs, we're fighting for the next generation of postal workers, but we're also fighting to maintain a decent public service which is still relevant and crucial to the people of the Isle of Man. Because the current board, and seemingly backed by government, are not doing that. They will ruin this great social invention, and they will ruin the Isle of Man Post Office, is our opinion. It's our democratic right to protest, and I'm extremely proud of our members in the Isle of Man, who've often been accused that they didn't have the heart for the fight, or that they wouldn't stand with this trade union, or that us as national CWU officials from the UK do not speak for the members. Well, clearly we do. A 91% return and a 93% yes vote. That is absolutely unprecedented. And it is a massive, not just a massive vote for this union, but a massive vote of no confidence in the Isle of Man Post Office Board. I ask every branch in the UK to show solidarity to our members in the Isle of Man. Email them, put things on social media, demonstrate your support for these workers, because they're going into a tremendous battle, and they really are decent working people and loyal CWU members.